Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey.
Hello.
And the Lord of Puppies, SDA, who's currently muted.
Hi, guys.
Oh, there she is. And I'm your host,
Hi.
Scribe Light, the Lord of Punishment. How are you guys tonight?
I'm good.
I am okay.
Just okay?
Hey, just okay is good for me, man.
That's true. Hello, chat. I already got a couple of super chats. Let me get those real quick. Mr. Baker, an ad for Kingdom of Darkness by Andy McDermott. And thank you, Point Curation. Good luck in court, Scribe. I hope you are acquitted. Yes. So, as a programming note of a kind, tomorrow I have to start jury duty. Jury duty might be just me sitting in a room for a couple days and not being assigned to a case. Or it may mean somewhere between 3 days and 2 weeks of having to do a thing that I don't really want to do, but I have no choice. Consequently, I will have no access to anything where I can do research. So if you ask for any ads today that requires research on my part, those will be delayed, at least for a few days or more, depending on what happens. If they're simple ads, like things that I can just come up on my own kind of deal or something that's not too research intensive, I may be able to jot something down with whatever time I'm allotted while waiting in the court for whatever. Regardless, there may be a delay. So ads are welcome. Requests are welcome. Anything more complicated than usual might be a few days until I get to it. So apologize for that ahead of time. But that aside,
You know what?
What?
If you just show them one of my Dear Dumbass videos and tell them you hang out with me every night, they will let you out.
Oh man, I hope like they call me up and they say something like, sir, have you ever engaged in any aberrant sexual behavior? I was president of the Bondage Club. Oh, well, you're excused. Thank you. Thank you, Terry D. Montes. I hope you like Jury Duty, not Pauly Shore's best movie, but I hope you like it all the same. Oh, God, I've seen that movie. Oh, God, how many Pauly Shore movies have I seen? Let's see. I saw Encino Man, saw Jury Duty.
Good one.
Which one? I saw Son-in-Law. God, I saw Biodome. God help me. There was one other one.
What was the Army one?
In the Army Now.
In the Army Now, yeah. That was a dumbass movie.
That was bad. That was bad, too. Anyway. Have
you
ever seen
Stripes, but not funny.
Do you know who Pauly Shore is, SDA?
No idea.
Okay, that's fine. I'm actually glad that you don't, because it's probably a scar in your brain you don't need. So otherwise, hey, we have a programming note for tomorrow, don't we, Monkey?
We do indeed, guys. Tomorrow night, Mundane Matt will be joining us for the show. So I'm really hoping Scribe is here and happy, because if you guys don't know, Matt is a huge cinephile, and so is our own Scribe, and I'm looking forward to the conversation that we could have over that.
Yeah, Matt sometimes guests over on Midnight's Edge, which is a sort of movie nerd podcast site or channel or whatever, and I'm going to ask him what he thinks of Andre, who's over there, because I like Andre over at Midnight's Edge.
It's funny, Matt. I think it was the last time I was over there.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody mentioned that Matt knows his whole life based on what movies came out that year, and not necessarily that year, that month.
Okay. So,
yeah,
I kind of mark some times in my life by movies. I don't know if I could necessarily get down the year exactly, but yeah, there's some movies that act as like waypoints in my my lifetime memory. So otherwise, any other things to cover before we get to the schnews?
Not on my end.
Okay, Monkey.
Not that I can think of.
All right. Monkey Dick, Jim Jones movies. Hit that like button if you have not already. And if you like the kind of things that we produce in so far as video form, please share them all over the place.
You always put that "if you like it" disclaimer. Guys, if you hate what I do, make sure everybody in your family sees it.
Oh, thank you, Chaos Eve. Hiya, Scribe. 2 down, 1 to go. You're next, Monkey. I want an ad for Jury Duty. Tell us how you really feel. Oh, that'll be a pleasure. Thank you, Chaos Eve. I I will do that live as I'm at jury duty. I will write it in the moment. So it's fresh and visceral and true to life. Okay, well then, let's move on to the mildly hinted at subject in the title of the stream for tonight. More information on Rob Porter, the embattled, or now I guess resigned, White House aide, and his
wives.
Who was beating his wives apparently. But today the big news is that the White House has apparently lied about the whole Porter thing. Well, the FBI director contradicts the White House's Porter timeline. And I can only assume this means when they knew that he was beating his wife. Let's see. FBI Director Chris Wray upended the White House's timeline about when it learned of domestic abuse allegations leveled against disgraced aide Rob Porter. Wray testified Tuesday that the FBI repeatedly briefed the White House on its investigation into the aide last year, despite how the White House has presented their timeline. The FBI submitted information to the White House on its background investigation into the former White House staff secretary that uncovered allegations of domestic abuse 4 times before those allegations became public. The FBI director's testimony raises fresh questions about why Porter remained in a senior position after the White House learned of the allegations of domestic abuse leveled by 2 of Porter's ex-wives to the FBI, extending a controversy the White House has struggled to shake. Quote, I can't get into the content of what was briefed to the White House. What I can tell you is that the FBI submitted a partial report on the investigation in question in March, and then a completed background investigation in late July. That soon thereafter, we received a request for follow-up inquiry, and we did the follow-up and provided that information in November, and that we administratively closed the file in January. So
this is what they were talking about with Kelly knowing.
Yeah, thank you, Snubberth. Ad about Monkey on trial. Make his crime something of Lords of the Night lore. Side rant. Monkey, you hear about the YouTube Saints flagging.
I did. I have not looked much into it, but I did see that the Saints got flagged.
We're going to see if we can dig something up between now and YouTube drama time on that.
Well, there's not much to really look into. I mean, we know somebody flagged them. Okay. Nobody's owning up to it. There's people speculating that it was a fan of either Worski or T Sparkle, but even if it was, I mean, that's nothing against either of them. Neither of them told anybody to do it. So there's not a lot to talk about.
Okay.
Other than they got flagged, and as such, they won't be able to use their channel for live streaming, which they do every Sunday and Wednesday.
Yeah. How long does that last?
3 months.
Ew, unless they get it appealed or something.
Guideline strike. Well, yikes. Yeah. They could still do, because for those of you who don't know, the Saints are Jeff Holiday and Nick from Wizard of Cause. They could still do it on one of their channels, I guess.
Oh, sure. Thank you, Mr. Baker. I can wait to hear this one if I have to. Oh, and you will, unfortunately. Ad for a historical documentary detailing the evolution of the pre-pottery Neolithic A culture into the pre-pottery Neolithic B culture. Man, you just picked the most riveting subject matter, Mr. Baker. Okay, yeah, that's definitely going to be a couple of days kind of thing, because that's things I can jot down onto a notepad I can take with me to the court are going to be easier to work on than okay, thank you, Mr. Baker. I will get on it as soon as I can.
Ask the judge if they can answer that for you.
Yeah, Judge, I have a question for the court. How does the Neolithic A culture differ from the Neolithic B culture pre-pottery? You're excused. Thank you, Judge. White House, I mean, I'm assuming the FBI director is not lying about how many times they submitted information to the White House since last March. So does this become, okay, so what's the scandal here is that they knowingly employed and kept on staff someone who was alleged, it's true, alleged, but accused of having beaten 2 of his ex-wives. Doesn't look good. It's not a good look for the White House amongst all the other things that they have problems with. But this one in particular is kind of like, this isn't like something that just came out of the blue. If it was last March the FBI was telling you this, I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. Again, allegedly, we have to say allegedly. Okay, chances are he probably beat his wife. And Minding Freedom, we already did Monkey Dick. Thank you. It's the cover up, guys. Just say, yeah, we knew we beat his wife. We beat it.
We beat it.
He beat his wife. We thought he was going to be good at the job. Otherwise, what you're doing is just setting it up to be a controversy where one doesn't have to exist.
Yeah, if they came out and said something to the effect of like, we treat allegations seriously, but unless or until something more substantive comes out, they're just allegations. And, Mr. Porter chose to resign at this time while things are ongoing. So there you go. Now, that would be a better way to say it. It still doesn't look good if it's been going on for almost a year now and you're just getting around to doing something about it or having something be done about it. And saying you didn't know. That's the other thing too. Is like, well, we just learned about these things last week. Like, no, you didn't.
The weird part of this is we know that Phil DeFranco the other day talked about how we already knew they knew way back in November. So I'm wondering where the story part is of this, where they're making it sound like this is brand new. You know what I mean?
It's possible, and I don't know for sure. It's possible it could be something to the effect of they kept it compartmentalized away from Trump, and he did not know about it until somebody told him.
Sure. My point is the story, the big thing. Oh, their timeline is thrown off. Well, this doesn't actually throw their timeline off. The final report wasn't until November, which is what we knew.
When was that leaked? I guess.
When did we talk about this first?
A couple weeks ago or a week ago.
Yeah, so at least then, because I know I brought it up on the show.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get it. It doesn't look.
Well, maybe it wasn't confirmed. Maybe it wasn't confirmed by because maybe it was one of those things like sources say kind of thing. But now we have the FBI director in open testimony telling us what the timeline was. Maybe that was the differential.
Where was this testimony at? What was this for?
This was at the Senate Intelligence Committee. Oh, sorry, no, wait. Sorry, I misread that. Ray told, the Senate Intelligence Committee on Tuesday. He was giving testimony to the committee about stuff, and this came up, and he gave them the timeline. There's video on it and everything.
Okay, so this wasn't called specifically for this.
Let's see.
He wasn't like testifying. He was probably giving regular testimony on other things, and this came up as part of it.
That's what I'm assuming. Ray told us I'm trying to see if they say what he was there for in general, but it might be in here somewhere, but they're not saying it. So,
gotcha.
Anyway, he might have been giving a regular update to the Intelligence Committee, and this just came up. I can't tell. Either way, it doesn't look good for the White House. Why they were lying about it, saying they just learned about it, and if they're not lying, that's the other thing too. If Kelly wasn't lying and Trump wasn't lying when they said they just learned about it, etc., then they're fucked up. If the FBI went to the White House 4 times and they're just, I just suddenly found out about this, something's not working in the White House then. So you don't look good either way this comes out.
With Kelly specifically, I mean, we pretty much know he knew. Yeah. Because the FBI reported this to him from what was said.
Exactly.
Which is why it wouldn't be surprising if he did resign, because there was talk about that earlier in the week.
If he doesn't resign after this, I don't know what else it would take, because now he's been caught effectively like lying, and Trump could cut him out by saying, again, like so many others, it's like, Kelly kept this from me, I didn't know, he's no longer part of the team, kind of thing. I could see that happening. Maybe. Sure. Whether or not Trump knew or not, it's kind of irrelevant, but he cut off the dead weight. Of course, this will be another high level if it happens, this will be another high-level position in the White House and the Trump administration that just gets turned over. I mean, it is becoming like a game show. They might as well turn it into, like a White House aide, the series, and like, who will survive the test of time?
Well, it's The Apprentice.
It is The Apprentice. Okay, well, moving on from that, something else happened at the, I guess, the Intelligence Committee testimony today, because they covered a whole bunch of stuff. So do you like Russia?
I do indeed.
All right, well, U.S. intel chiefs are unanimous that Russia is targeting the 2018 elections.
For who?
Presumably for us. Uh-oh, tailed feature, fucking goat throttle.
What's goat throttle?
Okay, so like a few days, like a week ago or 2 weeks ago or something, I was listening to a stream with tailed feature, and I don't even remember the context of it, but he was talking about trying to come up with the most Scottish things to say. And there's a town in Scotland called Gokthropple. It's like G-O-K or G-O-A-K or something. Or G-O-W-K. Anyway, it's Gokthropple or something. But when I heard it, I heard goat thrapple. And so I just call it goat thrapple because it's a funny thing to say. It's fun to say. So that's sort of like my countersign to fucking moo now. He says fucking moo. I say goat thrapple.
Gotcha. All right.
Anyway, it's an inside joke. It's only funny to me. It's fine. Yeah, so the 2018 elections, I assume they mean our elections, and I assume they mean via Facebook.
No, I meant who are they going to be doing?
Oh, well, let's see.
Republicans, the Democrats?
Just in general, I'm sure, but probably the Democrats, maybe? I don't know. Director of National Intelligence Dan Coates said Tuesday, quote, "There should be no doubt," unquote, should be, okay, "that Russia sees the 2018 U.S. elections as a target." Okay, let's
chat.
Okay. Thank you, ex-Bubba Hotep. "My dad and I went on a fishing trip every year, and every year I would ask if I could have a beer. Each time he would respond, you can dick touch your asshole." Oh, can your dick touch your asshole? "Finally, I answered, yes, it can." He said, "Well, go fuck yourself."
Right.
It took me a second. I pulled an SDA there for a second. Like, what did you? Oh, that's hilarious, dude.
With you now.
That's hilarious. Anyway, what I was going to say is, before I continue, I'm wondering how much of the art of couched language are we going to have here where they say Russia wants to, Russia has the desire to, Russia has, anything but saying we know they have, or we know that they're going to do X.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of just like creating the specter of something that might happen without giving us any detail. I mean, it's the Intelligence Committee, so they probably won't give us any detail, but I just want to sort of put a pin in that before we continue. Coates and the other top national security officials told the Senate Intelligence Committee that they still view Moscow as a threat to the 2018 elections, a stance that appears at odds with President Donald Trump's repeated dismissals of Russian election meddling. Meddling, kids. Quote, "We expect Russia to continue using propaganda, social media, false flag personas, sympathetic spokesmen, and other means to influence to try to build on its wide range of operations and exacerbate social and political fissures in the United States," unquote. How dare Russia do what the Republicans and the Democrats have a corner market on?
Yes, that's our business, damn it.
Yeah, only we can create fissures and divisions in our political process. Not like we've done anything like that in other countries across the world at all.
Scribe.
With things more illegal than posting an ad on Facebook.
There's nothing worse than an ad on Facebook, man.
I just love this. It's like, oh yeah, so influence our what they say? They're going to targeting our elections. Yeah, targeting to put out advertisements. Like I remember the ones that they gave us examples of previously that were just like the most benign, like whatever things that somebody might see clicking through Facebook for 2 seconds and not care.
Yeah.
It's like and like we saw that 40 people clicked on this ad. Wow, 40 people. You'd almost fill up a classroom with that.
Well, I mean, it's horrible what they did, man. They did something.
Let's see. There should be no doubt that Russia perceives its past efforts as successful and views the 2018 U.S. midterm elections as a potential target for Russian influence operations. Russian influence operations. Okay.
I am so fucking tired of hearing about Russia. Like 300 years from now, when all the countries are different, you know, like they were 300 years ago, and Russia's not even a thing, and the United States isn't even a thing, we're still going to be hearing about Russian bullshit. I swear to God.
You're probably right.
Every fucking day, dude. It's like, what did the Russians do? I don't know. Somebody called James Bond, maybe. He'll figure it out.
God, I wish the commies would come back because Bond needs some better bad guys. Thank you, Dark Shade. An ad for Koala Bear Pap in a world... Koala Bear Pap. I don't know what PAP is. In a world of anthropomorphized koalas instead of humans. Clarify the word PAP, because if otherwise I'm thinking of going to the gynecologist. Yeah, okay. Well, I've got it down. If you can tell me, make sure I know what you mean by PAP.
Pap smear.
Really, Pap smear?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Should know better than to listen to me by now.
That was my first thought. Pabst Blue Ribbon?
Yeah, my first thought was Pap smear as well.
Yeah, okay. Dark Shade, if you don't say anything soon, it's going to become Pap smear whether you want it or not. it's going to be gynecologist, and that's going to be the name of the TV show. I'm not even going to do what you asked me to do. I'm just going to create gynecologist, and that's it. In fact, I think I might just have to do that now regardless. So, okay. Well, if anybody sees what Dark Shade meant, let me know. Otherwise, prepare for gynecologist. Just Google it, mischievous grin. Oh, God. Point curation. Pap smear would be terrible on toast. Yeah, well, not as bad as a placenta smoothie. Kagamandoa, thank you. Can I get a birthday song? It's my birthday today. Well, of course you can. What kind of birthday song do you want?
Now, I'm philosophically opposed to this because this man has paid a lot of money to have me hurt.
Oh, that's true. He's like your chief torturer, isn't he?
He is, but I have a little bit of Stockholm syndrome, so I must sing.
Oh, so Monkey's the Patty Hearst of this situation. All right.
I am indeed.
All right.
All right, here we go. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Kagamandoa. You nipple pinching bitch. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, bud.
Happy birthday, Kagam. Okay, so I looked up the word pap all by itself. And this is what you're getting, I guess. Pap, also known as millepap in South Africa or sadza in Shona, blah, 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 blah. It's a food. It's like a dish, apparently.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Real quick programming update. Matt will be joining us next week. He didn't realize tomorrow's Valentine's Day. So
yes.
He will join us next week.
Okay. So I have to make an ad about a koala bear sort of pasty dish thing in a world of
koala bear pasties.
Wait, koala bear pap in a world of anthropomorphized koalas instead of humans. So they're eating themselves?
Yes.
That's
so pap smear on bagel says thoughts from the dryer.
That's disgusting. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so the Russians are coming. The Russians are coming on Facebook and social media to make you vote. They're going to make you vote the way they want you to vote. Like, yeah. Thank you, Dark Shade. Dum Dum, it's koala pap, not pap on its own.
What's koala pap?
Well, what? Okay, you're confusing me because if you like, I don't know what it is. Dark Shade. I'm sorry. You say I look up pap. It's a dish. It looks like rice or like I mean I've never had it before. Obviously, but it looks like rice or mashed potatoes or something, that kind of thing. So unless you've got some more information for me, I don't know what you mean by koala pap. Like it's pap for koalas or pap? Okay, give me some information here. Okay. There's a traditional porridge made from blah, 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 staple food of the Bantu peoples of South Africa. All right, so it's just pap for koalas. So like made out of eucalyptus leaves and shit? I don't know. Wiki koalas, the control F.
Lady Monkey says it's poop.
Oh, pap is for poop?
No, pap is poop. Koala pap is poop.
Species that they eat.
Well, there's a thing called pap that's a food. How could I know that?
I'm telling. I wasn't judging. I was.
Is that is an Australian like slang thing for poop? Well, they're poop. Okay, maybe that's what it is. All right. Well, so far I've come up with like 3 different ads now because I got koala bear poop, I got koala bear like mashed up porridge, and I've got gynecologist. I just from a misunderstanding. That's what I came up with. This is okay. So guys, you just had a preview of how my mind works when I'm writing these ads. It's like my mind goes in 17 different directions at once if you don't give me any particular like detail. So that's what happens.
In chat, Justin M says koala pap is a type of poo baby koalas eat.
Oh. Okay.
So what you're doing is you're making a commercial for shit for the koala people. Am I close? Is that what?
Hi, fellow koalas. Are you shit eaters like I am? Okay, I will. Okay, koala bear poop babies eat.
Shit eating koala.
Gregory Hurst says replay the past 5 minutes for the judge tomorrow.
Yes,
Your Honor. Last night somebody asked me to make koala bear poop ads. You're excused. Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, the last story I have, and we've taken up too much time with this stuff. Koala pap. This is the story that just boggled my mind, and I know that Monkey's a big property rights guy. Judge awards $6.7 million to graffiti artists whose work was destroyed to build condos.
Oh, fuck off. It's graffiti.
Yeah, I saw this earlier today, and I could not quite believe it. A federal judge has awarded $6.7 million to 21 graffiti artists after their works were destroyed in 2013 at the 5 Points complex in Queens, New York, to make room for luxury condominiums. U.S. District Court Judge Frederick Block made the award Monday after a jury ruled in November that Jerry Wolkoff, the owner of the buildings that comprised 5 Points, violated the artist's rights under federal law. Eric Baum, an attorney for... Hold on, I really want to know what their argument is because I didn't understand it when I glanced at it earlier today. Eric Baum, an attorney for the artist, told CNN that the decision is a triumph for artists all around the country. Quote, the cultural significance of 5 Points and the value of the aerosol art created
art? Are you fucking kidding me?
No, aerosol art created by the 21 plaintiffs has been recognized as fine art. It is now clear that the federal law protects the dignity of the artist and ensures that their artwork is treated respectfully. The law, known as the
visual... own the canvas.
This is the part that doesn't make any sense to me. The law, known as the Visual Artists' Rights Act, affords legal protections to artists whose work meets certain requirements, whether or not the artists own the work. Okay. 5 Points, a warehouse complex in the Long Island City section of Queens, was a street art mecca that drew visitors and artists from around the world. Wolkoff had allowed artists to paint murals and graffiti on the buildings he owned since 2002, and over time, the location evolved into a New York City cultural landmark that appeared in tourist guidebooks. The complex took its name from New York's 5 boroughs and also was used as a filming location for music videos, movies, TV shows, and various commercials. Okay. let me skip down a bit. Oh, real quick. Thank you, Darkshade, for all the obscure Viking lore and such you do, and it's koala pap that trips you up. Well, pap had multiple definitions. I don't know what to tell you. Thank you, Jonathan Malone. Monkey, I have paid to have you hurt, and you sang to me. Slip in, strike, and slip out. Come back when they forget. Scribe, turn the best pun or joke of the night into an ass.
Ad.
I know. I was reading it. I was reading it as it's written. I know what he meant. The best pun or joke of the. I'll tell you what. I'm going to make an ad for gynecologist. I can't help myself now. I got to do something about that. So,
he
Jonathan,
gave himself pun of the night.
That's true. Well, isn't that creative, gynecologist?
That is very creative. I wasn't bashing.
Okay. Well, I mean, if a better one comes up over the course of the night, or somebody says otherwise, okay. But that's going to be the placeholder for now. All right, let's get back to the law thing. The lawsuit stemmed from the events of November 19th, 2013, when almost all of the artwork was abruptly painted over in the early morning hours after Wolkoff revealed plans to redevelop the buildings with high-end condos, retail space, and artist studios. Wolkoff told CNN in 2013 that he decided to paint over the walls because the building would take several months to tear down, and he didn't want the artist's work to be ruined in the process. However, the artist argued that Wolkoff never warned them of his intention to paint over the artwork prior to the building's demolition. They said Wolkoff denied them the opportunity to remove and preserve their work, calling his actions gratuitous, willful, and malicious.
They were going to take parts of his fucking wall?
Somehow, I guess. Thank you, Cryptic. The judge was just mad. The owner didn't kiss his butt in court. He's an 86-year-old douche judge. Yeah, this sounds really weird. I don't see it either. On appeal, I don't see this going anywhere.
$5 million for you not to be able to tear down somebody else's
6.7 million.
Oh, sorry, 6.7.
Oh, wait. In his decision, Judge Block did not argue with Wolkoff's authority to demolish the buildings he owns, but he took issue with his decision to whitewash the art without prior notice or regard for the artist's ability to preserve their work.
How?
If you see pictures of this thing, these are like giant warehouses. This is not like just a wall somewhere. These are like gigantic warehouses and walls. How you would remove that and preserve it, I don't know. But at the same time, it's his building. He allowed them to paint. Now he's painting over because it's his building. And then he demolished it. Just thank you, Lady Monkey. I'll DM you. Oh God, is that ominous? Uh-oh.
Still stuck on the koala poop.
Uh-oh. She's stuck on koala poop? That sounds like a personal problem.
Indeed.
All right. Well, that's all the stories I had queued up ahead of time. Do you guys know of anything elsewise that's going on in the world?
I really don't.
No, not really. I think you covered everything that I knew about.
Okay. Let's see. Well, then we'll move on to the MSS Schnuzz. Oh yeah, SDA. How was the? Did you spend any extra time over at Poisoning the Wells after the stream wrapped up?
Yeah.
You have fun?
Yeah, I stayed for a few minutes.
Cool. So
a few minutes. That makes it sound like you ran as soon as you could.
Well, I live about on the other side of Atlanta, so my drive home was a little long.
Okay. I didn't know how close they were to you in relative terms.
They're pretty close. It's still a late night drive. I had class this morning. So, we finished streaming at 11.
Lady Monkey's messaging me now. But
want me to tell her to leave you alone because we're streaming?
No, it's fine. No. I mean, I'm sure the chat enjoys the fact that I'm talking to your wife privately, where you don't know what she's saying to me, what I'm saying to her, and all the pictures that she's sending me of you.
The only picture she could send you would be of me because she won't let me take any of her.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
I sent her a dick pic once that I took in the Walmart parking lot, and her reaction was, "Why would you do that?" I'm like, well, one, it's funny.
And I love you.
I want you to see my dick.
All right, guys, if you have news stories you'd like to have us read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSSNews. Can't promise we'll get to them all, but we'll definitely take a look at as many as we can. And I'm going to scroll down. Oh, that was the other news story. Well, I might as well use the one that somebody posted here. Raymond Lewis sends us this one. I forgot to bring this one up. I don't know why. Israeli police find sufficient evidence to indict Benjamin Netanyahu.
Oh, I saw the headline. I haven't read the story.
Yeah, as it plays a video in my ear. Thank you, CNN. Okay. Israeli police said Tuesday there is sufficient evidence to indict Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on criminal charges in 2 corruption cases. According to a police statement published late Tuesday, authorities found evidence of accepting bribes, fraud, and breach of trust. In a televised statement, Netanyahu said the allegations against him would be dismissed, repeating what has become his catchphrase, quote, "There will be nothing because there is nothing," unquote. In a statement given moments before police issued their official findings, he said, quote, "I think about the good of the country, not for personal reasons of the press, okay, but only for the country, and nothing will stop me from doing this, not even attacks against me, and believe me, they're never ending." Okay, so he denies it. They say it's going to happen. I guess we'll see. Thank you, Point Curation. If you tell the court only God can judge me, you might be excused. Just so you guys know, I'm not on trial. I'm up for jury duty. But of course, if I do scream that in the middle of the jury room, that probably will get me kicked out. So yeah, Benjamin Netanyahu, Bibi, or Bibi as they call him, Bibi.
Bibi.
Okay, this sounds like some kind of sci-fi vampire movie plot. Thank you, Jack Cochran, for this one. Jack the motherfucking Cochran. Pakistan gang stole spinal fluid from women.
Oh.
The fuck? Pakistani police have arrested 4 people accused of stealing spinal fluid from women. The suspects told women they had to provide blood samples to qualify for financial assistance from the government. However, they extracted spinal fluid and attempted to sell it on the black market.
Who buys spinal fluid?
That's my question. Thank you, Sanguine. An ad for an apocalyptic fantasy where all the $10 and up super chatters are harbingers / omens of a Ragnarok style end.
Oh.
Okay. All of them? That's gonna.
All of them.
I'll have to find a way to do that efficiently because that would be a long list. Yeah, maybe I'll find a way.
Jack Cochran says, "Just giggle every time somebody says duty."
Duty. Let's see. Okay, I want to find out why they be. Okay, spinal fluid is a transparent liquid found around the brain and spinal cord that protects from shock and injury. It can be extracted by inserting a needle into the spinal canal, normally only taken to help diagnose disease in an individual. It is not clear how the spinal fluid would have been used on the black market. Yeah. The health ministry has set up a committee to investigate the case while the 4 gang members are currently in police custody. Okay, so not even they know why someone would want to buy spinal fluid on the black market. Thank you, Ms. Slim One. Just act like you have some verbal type of Tourette's. They won't keep you on the jury after those outbursts. Yeah, except that they say ahead of time before the thing starts, if you have any medical issues that would prevent you from effectively, you have to report them ahead of time. So if I was going to start saying that I have Tourette's syndrome, I'd also have to show a doctor's note showing I have been diagnosed with such, which I haven't, so I can't.
I'll write you one.
Yeah, I see. Perjury is kind of a thing I don't want to commit.
This fucker says fuck a lot.
Yeah. So if you can come up with a way for me to get out of jury duty without committing perjury, then maybe.
I can do it. I can do it.
You can do it?
Anytime, I can. Anytime they ask you a question, check with your attorney to your left first.
Except I don't have one, so I'm just talking to myself.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay.
But you have to be convincing. That's not technically a lie.
Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. There's 2 immigration stories today that were interesting. This is the one. Several people sent us this one, but Jack Cochran is the one I'm looking at here. Undocumented dad can stay in the U.S. after taking refuge in a church to avoid deportation. A 30-year-old father who took refuge in a Phoenix church to avoid deportation is allowed to come home. Jesus Barones, if I'm saying that correctly, who has been in the U.S. nearly all of his life and has 5 American-born children, initially turned to a church in his hometown on Thursday after his request to immigration authorities extend his stay in the U.S., where he has lived for 28 years, was denied. Now, ICE have granted Barones a 1-year stay. Let's see. Barones' 5-year-old son, who was battling leukemia, initially went with his father to the church, refusing to leave. My children are scared. They're terrified that their dad is going to be taken away. Yeah, well, whose fault is that?
Well, obviously, it's the government, Scribe.
Well, here's the thing. If he's been here his entire life, is he, so a 30-year-old father, but he's been here for 28 years. Okay, so
That's not his whole life.
No, but that means that he could qualify for DACA, couldn't he have?
That age range should be.
Unless he committed a crime.
No, and illegals don't.
Here it is. Wilkes said Jesus Barones was deported twice in the past, once after he was taken into custody in 2006 when he got caught driving without a driver's license, and another time in 2010 involving a traffic citation. Both times he illegally re-entered the United States to rejoin his family. Okay.
I feel bad for him. I really do. Is that believable?
I feel bad for his kid and his children that he's put in that situation, but Cryptic, thank you. Yeah, I'm heartless, but deport him.
I'm kind of with you. Deport his ass.
Oh, he's been deported a couple times. He keeps coming back. Now he's got to stay on a sympathy vote for his kid, which there's a couple of ways you can look at that. But anyway, Gregory Hurst, thank you. How do you pull Jesus out of a church and deport him? That's a good question. Okay, this one comes from Sylvanus Dark Angel. YouTube CEO. Facebook should get back to baby pictures.
That's kind of funny.
YouTube may be derided as full of cat videos, but as Facebook pushes aggressively into YouTube's video turf, Susan Wojcicki, is that how you say her name? Wojcicki? Wojcicki says it should stick to baby pics. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki won't divulge her biggest fear about competing with Facebook, but she will give them some free advice. They should go back to baby pictures, she said Monday at the Code Media Conference in Huntington Beach. Video has been an obsession for Facebook as it tries to swipe the most advertising dollars migrating off television before YouTube can get them. Facebook has been aggressively advancing the number of clips and live streams that bubble up to the top of their news feeds, blah, 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 blah. Mostly of people either, shooting other people or killing themselves or beating up other people, that kind of thing.
Yeah. It's turned into a great platform for suicide.
World Star! Oh, sorry. Did I say that? I said that. Okay, so I posted this one because, I'm going to be nepotistic to myself like this. I found this amazing. Parents want custody to stop transgender teen from having hormone treatment.
Okay.
I read a little bit of this, and some of the details are interesting. And we'll do 2 more. We'll do this one and 1 more. An Ohio court will decide the fate of a transgender teen who is in what the judge describes as a gut-wrenching situation. The 17-year-old identifies as a boy. Neither he nor his family can be named according to court instructions. The teen's parents want court authority to stop their child from getting the treatment and therapy that was recommended by his medical team in what it characterizes as a possible life or death situation. Okay. Medical experts testified that the father's ongoing refusal to call the child by his chosen name and the parents' rejection of the teen's gender identity have triggered suicidal feelings.
Okay.
The teen was hospitalized in 2016. He has been diagnosed with depression and anxiety disorder and gender dysphoria, according to court records. Gender dysphoria is a psychiatric diagnosis the American Psychiatric Association defines as a conflict between a person's physical or assigned gender and the gender with which they identify. The teen is in temporary legal custody of Hamilton County Job and Family Services and lives with his maternal grandparents who want custody and are supportive of the teen's gender identity. He wants to stay with them. The teen's court-appointed guardian believes that the grandparents, not the parents, should have custody and says they are best suited to help the child.
Why do the grandparents have custody now?
Because I assume the closest. Maybe because that's in the question of custody is in conflict right now. The parents are suing, but in about less than a year or something, it's not going to matter because the kid's going to be 18. So I don't understand. Yeah, Weebo Jones says, how old was this kid again? 17. So pretty soon. Let's see. Citing the teen's mental state, the parent's attorney says it does not appear that this child is even close to being able to make such life-altering decisions at this time. If the maternal grandparents were to be given custody, it would simply be a way for the child to circumvent the necessity of parents' consent. The parents believe custody of the child should be restored to them so they can make the medical decisions they believe are in the child's best interest until the child turns 18 years of age, which is so not that far away. Why not just put a stay on it till the kid turns 18? I don't get it. I mean, is that vital? Like the kid's going to like kill himself in 10 seconds if he doesn't like get the hormones now?
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Moving on, I'll do one more here. Let's see.
I'm just curious because if this child is suicidal, what would people think about institutionalizing him to make sure he doesn't harm himself?
Yeah, and then when he turns 18, he can make another decision.
Yeah, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. But
yeah, I don't quite understand the logic here. Okay, one more. Let me pick something. Do we have a Florida man story? Because God knows we need a Florida man story. That's an Oregon woman story.
Phoenix says it's Skip Mullins' birthday. Who's Skip Mullins?
Skip Mullins?
Oh. No, Skip, you can get a birthday song. I didn't know it was your birthday. Sorry, I was not paying attention to chat. I do apologize that we just now saw that. Calm down. Okay. We're still here for you.
Yeah, relax. Sorry guys, we don't look at chat nearly as much now as we do during chat time at the end of the show. So apologies.
Yeah, a good way to get my attention. If you just type in my full name, Ranting Monkey, you don't have to put the @ there. But if Ranting and Monkey are put together, it will put an orange box around it, and that does get my attention a lot easier. Sorry, guys. And this one, Skip, are you listening? This one goes out to you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Skip Mullins. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Skip.
Happy birthday, Skip. All right, so we will end with one from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. And it's a Florida woman.
Florida woman?
Mother-daughter fight over pot and an ex-boyfriend ends in gunfire. Sounds about right.
Mother, daughter, boyfriend? Sure.
Do they have the same boyfriend is my question. It is a story straight from the files of You Can't Make This Stuff Up, even if you tried. According to Brooksville police, a mother-daughter duo were caught fighting over weed and an ex-boyfriend. The Brooksville police chief, George Turner, tells News Channel 8 the mother planned to purchase a 1/4 pound of marijuana from her daughter. Her daughter, whose name is Jennifer, her daughter Jennifer's ex-boyfriend. Okay, so mom was going to buy marijuana from her daughter's ex-boyfriend. When the daughter found out, the drama began. The sale was set up at a gas station near a 24-hour Walmart. Investigators reported that Snell, that's the mother, that's the daughter. Okay, that Snell either talked her mother out of the purchase or intercepted it, and she met her ex at the gas station demanding that he stop peddling pot to her mom. When he refused to stop selling weed to her mother, she pulled out her gun and fired 6 shots at his sedan, hitting the vehicle 5 times. Then, according to Chief Turner, the daughter got into her sedan and rammed the ex's car.
Holy shit.
Witnesses at the gas station, as well as a crystal clear surveillance video from the gas station, helped Brooksville police quickly track down Snell, who was booked on multiple charges. No one else was arrested, and no one was hurt. Wowzers.
I'm kind of torn on this one because she's trying to keep a drug dealer away from her mom.
Yeah.
You can't go around shooting people's cars. As funny as it was in the movie Replacements, you just can't do that.
Especially if you hit the gas tank. We all know that if you hit the gas tank with a bullet, it'll explode.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, that's not how it is.
I know.
But well, I'm trying to make sure we give good information here.
Sure.
Weibo says that I feel like there's more to this story than just weed selling. I could believe it was just weed selling, given what we heard of the story.
Yeah.
That and she really, really doesn't like her ex.
A 1/4 pound of weed. Now I'm not any kind of weed. That sounds like a lot.
How long does a 1/4 pound of, I know we got some pot smokers up in here. How long does a 1/4 pound of weed last you?
Is let's see, is Sophane in here somewhere? He knows. Let's see. That's all the news, guys. Thank you so much for the stories. We got a lot of stories today. Thank you so much for contributing them. We know we can't get to them all, but them's the breaks, as they say. So YouTube time. I'll go first. I haven't done anything, and truth be told, I have actually avoided looking for things to work on because if I find something that I want to work on, I'll be thinking about it while I can't do anything about it during jury duty. So I
doesn't like to think.
Well, if I get something stuck in my head and I start thinking about it, but I can't actually work on it, it's sort of like with the ads. When I get the ads the next day, I feel compelled. It's almost like an OCD thing. I have to work on them. I have to get them done and off my plate kind of deal.
I get it, man. When I start thinking about vagina and I can't work on it, it drives me insane.
Yeah, there's that too. So anyway, I have avoided taking on any projects because I know that my free time is going to be even probably more curtailed. Yeah, less free in the next few days than previous. So rather than just sort of, eke out something over the course of days and days and days, I'll just wait until I can actually focus because I hate just doing it piecemeal. So that's me. SDA, what are you up to?
Well, I made a video and I released it this morning about the Black Panther article. We read it on stream. The one where everybody was super overreacting because they were like, they shouldn't get an Oscar just because black and this is dumb. And everybody was losing their shit, even though that's not what the article says. So it's pretty much just me yelling at people for being fucking window-looking retards and getting mad when there's nothing to be mad about. What?
That's a good thing to yell at people about.
Well, yeah, I'm like, it's fine if you disagree with somebody or whatever, and if you're mad about something that's genuinely a problem, then fine. But if you're not even bothering to read half of the freaking article just to see what it says, that's stupid.
I saw a tweet today, and I don't know if it was from a troll account or something. It could very well have been, but the tweet said something to the effect, and I'm paraphrasing, that white people should not be allowed to review this movie. It should only be for black people or something. Now, again, that account that it was attached to, it could be a complete troll. It could be a complete Poe or something. But I just saw that and thought, I can't tell given all the other media. So that tells you something right there.
Well, yeah, and that's fair. I mean, because has there been a ton of stupid shit surrounding this movie? Absolutely. But that article, seemed to be like a centerpiece of something that people were touting as like, this is the craziness, like the height of craziness. And I'm like, if you read the article, what you'll find is that it is indeed not the height of craziness. Read the damn thing.
Thank you, Jonathan Malone. All those who complain about your singing should make their own delay of about 10 seconds and then click the live button to jump forward when you start to sing. Rinse and repeat. Best chat suggestion.
Oh, I have a better one. For all those who complain about how we sing, kiss my ass. That's the best suggestion I can give you.
I mean, if I actually tried to, I mean, when I'm singing sillily.
Happy birthday
If I actually
to
was
you.
singing, it'd be all right. I mean, Weibo can testify that I have some singing ability, which will eventually show up in that 18-person collaboration thing that she's putting together. But
you know what? I can't sing worth a shit, but Little Butt loves my singing, and that's all I care about.
There you go. Anything else, SDA, or any other upcoming deals?
No.
Okay. Monkey, what are you up to?
I have not made a video, but I have one in mind. I found sort of what I want to do it on. I want to do a Valentine's Day special where I remind lonely people how lonely they are. And there's a great video about consent and other such nonsense, because yes, consent is nonsense, y'all. Take that shit. Just kidding. Only fuck if you're allowed to. But so I will probably be working on that and hopefully have it out early. I went to bed last night, literally right after the show, and I didn't wake up till 9.
Okay.
So I'm like super well rested. That's not the kind of sleep I normally get.
Yay.
So hopefully I'll be able to work on that after the show and have it out by morning.
Cool. Let's see real quick. Thank you, Gregory Hurst. Jury, the defendant is from Florida, the judge said. Scribe's eyes narrowed. Time to put you away for good, bastard, he thought to himself. Yes, Your Honor, I don't think I can take part in this jury. I'm prejudiced against Florida man all over the place.
Just ask for real. Is this motherfucker from Florida? Because I am...
Jonathan Malone, thank you. Suggested ad for Scribe, character limits. Yeah. How to PSA against character limits. Okay, Jonathan, I'll give that a 10 attempt here. Jonathan Malone. Okay. So, any little butt stories to share?
No, nothing that jumped out today. We just had a good day sitting around playing.
Okay. Let's see. YouTube drama. Do we have YouTube drama?
The Saints thing that happened.
Yes.
The YouTube Saints are, at least for the moment, on a 3-month hold, at least on their main channel. I asked Andy Worski, and I was being sincere about this. I wasn't trying any gotcha or anything. I watched part of Kumite this morning because that's Andy and Cognitive Thought argued against Spinosauruskin on there about the whole race realism thing. And it clicked in my head. If Andy is having so much trouble finding people to debate the alt-right, why doesn't he just do it himself? Have JF do the moderating for one show and have Andy square off against Richard Spencer. Now, I asked Andy this on YouTube or on Twitter, and man, some of his fans got pissed off about that because I made a suggestion. But Andy, being Andy, kept pushing and pushing on it and answering things that weren't attacks against him as though they were. And then something else clicked in my head as I was listening to the Kumite this morning. Andy sat there repeatedly bitching that nobody would debate him.
Okay.
His reason for not wanting to debate the alt-right, and this is his own words, is because, quote, I'm shit at debate.
Well, then why would you want to debate anybody?
Exactly. So I asked that, and we'll see. I haven't really paid attention to the response, but so there may be some drama there.
Ooh.
But otherwise, yeah. Nothing else that I know of.
Okay.
Although, wait, let me back up because I have to talk about their debate about the alt-right this morning, because Spino did eventually jump on and they had a little debate, and the alt-right is moving on from race realism. Most of them are moving away from that, and now they are on. You know what white is. This is becoming a talking point of theirs because everybody's like, well, what do you mean by white? And once again, these two brought up the Lawrence Fishburne thing, which is what color is Lawrence Fishburne? Which is a very deep topic given to us by that fucking moron Millennial Woes.
Wait, I missed something. What color is Lawrence Fishburne? Hold on real quick. Thank you, Jonathan Malone. The ellipses was a continuation of the last $10 donation due to character limits. Take this one and the $2 one and make it a third ad, dealer's choice.
Oh, cool.
Dealer's choice.
I think you should do an ad for Jury Duty. Not the Pauly Shore movie. Oh wait, somebody already suggested that, didn't they?
That one, yeah.
How about?
How about this? How about a movie trailer for Escape from Jury Duty?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Now that's all good.
So anyway, this has become a thing. Yes. What color is Lawrence Fishburne? And this was a big thing during the Sargon debate. How do you tell what's white? And so they're talking, and cognitive thought brings up a picture of this guy and asks Spino what color the guy is. And Spino goes, I would say he's white. Well, he's actually black. And Spino goes, yeah, but he looks white. Now, at this point, Cog and Andy have both been saying you can tell if somebody's white just by looking at them. And literally, that's what they're saying. You can tell if somebody's Asian by looking at them, or if they're black by looking at them.
Right.
And
really, because I've had people a lot confused about what I am.
I'm aware of that. Yes.
My life. So
now keep this in mind. Their argument is that you can tell what somebody is by looking at them, right?
Okay.
So they bring up this picture. It's a doctor who's on this website where there's a picture of all these black doctors, but he looks very much white. And Spino goes, well, I would say he's white. And Cog's response to that was, well, he's still black. I'm like, but okay. And then he goes, I think it was Andy. One of them, I want to say it was Andy, says, if I see somebody in the mall, yeah, I might have to ask them, what color are your parents, but I know what color they are. I'm like, what the fuck? If you have to ask what somebody's parents are, then you can't tell what color they are. Kiss my ass. So
I got an example for you. Okay. Martin Sheen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is Martin Sheen?
He's Mexican.
Yeah, his real name is Ramon Estevez.
I only know that because of
I
only know that because of their name.
Yeah, but he has been cast forever as like Irish guys because people can't really you can do the voice and everything else, but no, he's I believe he's from or his family's from, I want to say Cuba. I think I might be.
Yeah, he's Hispanic.
Or Puerto Rican or either way, but his real name is Ramon Estevez, but you wouldn't know it by looking at him, or at least by the way that he carries himself. So who the fuck cares? This is the other thing.
Exactly. That's just it. There are plenty of people where you can't tell what their ancestry is just by looking at them. And it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's an interesting fact about a person, like once you get to know them, but beyond that, it's meaningless. And if you can't tell, why do you give a shit?
Well, that's their problem, is they're saying they can tell because this is all questions about their ethno-state. How do you know who's allowed in? Because they can tell white people just by sniffing them.
Oh yeah, and Zena says Hispanic is technically an ethnicity, not a race. I know ethnicity, not a race, but unfortunately, we have now classified people as white or brown or etc. So it's
Well, it's Cuban, then he's most likely Asian, if you want to go by the race part of it. So still not white.
I did get a comment today that I found exceedingly stupid, and it was about how the liberals don't realize that they really like a movie that's about to be about an ethno state, and I'm like, are you fucking retard? Like, here's the thing. Is Wakanda technically an ethno state? I guess, but it's an ethno state the same way that, Sweden prior to immigration would have been an ethno state. It's not an ethno state because they're kicking white people out. It's an ethno state because they're in fucking Africa.
And they're in an isolated country.
And an ethno state implies, in my opinion, the way that it's used, it implies intent. Right. And in this case, there's no intent for it to be an ethno-state. They're just in Africa. And I don't know. So sometimes like the gotchas that people present like, haha, the liberals are too stupid. I'm like, you're an idiot. Sorry.
Thank you, Sylvanus. My intro and
dumb.
outro are proofs you can sing. Yes, I've done some bad singing for Sylvanus's intro outro video stuff. And thank you, Jonathan Malone, for clarification on ad requests, best joke / pun, best chat suggestion, dealer's choice.
Oh.
Wait. On your requests? Oh, okay. Best joke, pun, best chat suggestion. Well, chat suggestions will have to take a chat time. So let me go back through my list here to make sure I got this here. So, okay, dealer's choice, that was mine. Well, you wanted character limits. You don't want character limits now? Okay. That was so best pun. Well, I'm still hooked on gynecologist, but chat suggestion, I'll open up that one. So the character limits one I'll put for chat suggestion. Okay, so we'll take those at chat time, guys, if you have a chat suggestion for an ad via Jonathan Malone's donations. Thank you, Cryptic. White folks can't tell the difference between the Asians, but us Asians can tell each other apart, so I don't trust y'all classifications.
It's these wide eyes. It's hard to tell people apart.
Oh, Lord. Guaylo. Deep topic? I was thinking Valentine's Day. Let's talk about love and romance.
Let's talk about love. Let's talk about
sex, baby. I was just about to do that. we're right on. We share a brain, I think, sometimes.
Yes, and it's fun.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll touch on this for a second. Is Valentine's Day of any use at all?
You know, I'm not the biggest fan of Valentine's Day because it does seem like it's a day where you're told you have to show love to your significant other, and I'm of the option you should be doing that all the time. Opinion, not option. Anyway, but it's people should, be celebrating the fact you're alive every day, but nobody bitches because there's birthdays. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things. Like, let's be honest, women really, really love it, and so I don't think it's a big deal to play it up for them.
SDA.
Y'all know I don't give a fuck about Valentine's Day.
He's dead inside.
I choose you. I had the experience once of, so if you can believe it or not, I've been more single than I've ever been involved with people as far as like amount of time. So the one time that, I should say the first time that I was involved with somebody seriously enough to call it an actual relationship and not just sort of a passing thing, I was so unused to even giving it a second thought that I forgot Valentine's Day. Because it isn't in my orbit. I don't care. It's never been a thing. And she was hurt. She was really, really hurt. Because she really she's a true romantic kind of thing. And I knew that, but it just, like I say, it wasn't even on my radar because I'd never had to think about Valentine's Day before. And so, man, I went to the mat to try to make up for it. And like I wrote her a poem and all other stuff. And so it was kind of a belated Valentine's Day to try to make up for it. And she wasn't just trying to be manipulative or anything else. This girl is the one that I kind of consider the one that got away because of multiple things that happened that were nobody's fault. But she was genuinely sort of a little heartbroken that I hadn't done anything or thought of anything on behalf of that. So it can mean something to people because they put that kind of value into it. And I also don't think you should hold someone too high to account if they don't do it or do it enough on that day, because, I'm with you because I love you. I've done all these other things. This one day I flub up and everything else kind of goes by the wayside and now you're heartbroken. It just, I can, in her case, she was a very low maintenance person. She didn't really need a whole lot of affirmation, but that one day was special. At the same time, give it a pass, maybe. I don't know.
No, again, if somebody you cared about forgot your birthday, you'd likely be devastated. And
Right.
like it or not, this is a holiday that we've been programmed to believe is all about love. So it's the day you're supposed to show them.
Right.
Thank
you, Zenith. Technically, Valentine's Day hasn't existed since 1969 due to restructuring in the Vatican Church.
Yeah, we still know what day it is.
Yeah, technically. Well, yeah. Wait, so the church can get rid of Valentine? The church can destroy love? What are you saying?
Well, it's Saint Valentine, so if they like removed his sainthood or something.
Oh,
real quick, Jack Cochran gives us a great Valentine's tip. Never say, I'll get you flowers tomorrow when they're half off.
Wah, wah.
For the record, they don't do that with flowers. That's candy. Flowers, they'll charge you the same amount the day after.
Yeah, flowers are always up there, but like heart boxes of candy, yeah, those might be discounted by the time you get there.
Yeah, tomorrow is a great day to get discounted chocolate or not tomorrow, the day after, if you're interested in it, folks.
And get if you're going to get chocolate, if you want to get the healthy kind of chocolate, I just learned this the other day. It has to be at least, I believe it's 74% cocoa, at least. Anything lower than that, you don't get sort of like the healthy benefits. So anything at or higher than 74% real cocoa, it's actually a health food. You can convince yourself it's a health food.
It's still not a health food. Still chocolate.
The enzymes.
Enzymes my ass.
Ew, I don't know. I don't want to, thank you.
Alfred says, Scribe Light, my wife and I have never celebrated Valentine's Day. Let me tell you a great story.
Oh boy.
Lady Monkey and I had been together for a few years now, and there's this one Valentine's Day coming up, and she tells me you don't have to get me anything for Valentine's Day.
Which means to get me something for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was young and dumb. So Valentine's Day rolls around, and she said, "What'd you get me?" And I said, "Nothing." And she laughed. She goes, "No, really, what'd you get me?" And I said, you said I didn't have to get you anything. And this is when I realized I fucked up, because her face went from, joking because she thought I was joking to heartbroken. You could just see it in her eyes. And I was like,
yeah,
I will be right back. And I ran to the store and got her something.
That's how it was pretty much for me too. That was,
And this is what I've told her, because we've had these kind of discussions and misunderstandings in our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, baby, you just need to tell me what you want. I will get you whatever you want, but you can't make me guess, because I'm not that smart.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. What did you guys think of Coach Red Scam trying to act like a tough guy toward Thunderfoot on Twitter?
That was so funny. Thunderfoot bitch slapped him so well in a response tweet. It was just funny as shit.
Yeah, I saw that. It was something like Coach Red Pill said something about his dwindling fan base or something, and then Thunderfoot said, "Yeah, well, your video got 9,000 views or 90,000 views or something, where mine got like 3.2 million. So there you go."
Yeah, it was funny as hell. Yeah, Coach Red Pill's just trying his best to stay relevant, because if you go and look at his channel, it's dying. It is dying quickly, because he pulled that shit with Sargon, and he never should have done that.
I just get back to the Valentine's thing. When you described Lady Monkey's face, I think it is a testament to how much you care for someone when that look breaks your heart.
Yes.
And it, like that happened for me with my ex, happened for you with Lady Monkey. When someone else's genuine disappointment, sadness, or something else makes you feel as bad or worse, regardless of the situation, I think that is a sign of true love. Thank you, Cryptic. Just realized Scribe used a Cantonese word. Well, guaylo? Yeah, I did, didn't I? Well, why would I know that? It's not because my mother's Asian or anything. Or is it? What
is guaylo?
Round eye, like white guy kind of thing.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, guaylo.
Funky. I got you.
Let's see. What was the other thing? Oh, there was actually another news story I kind of wanted to touch on, because it's sort of like karma, but it does bring up a good point. And it's another immigration story. This is the second immigration story from today. So answered.
Before you get there,
yes.
Before you get there, Lady Monkey in chat says, "I said you didn't have to get me anything, not that you should not get me anything.
Oh,
This is true.
Splitting hairs.
Yes, she is.
Lawyer Dog, thank you, P-Dog Night. Me and the wife's never celebrated Valentine's Day because our anniversary is on February 22nd, our 25th this year. Wow, congratulations.
Congrats, Lawyer Dog.
So you just kind of like consolidate them into one day. That's cool.
I want I want to take a poll of the audience before you do your story here real quick.
Okay.
In the audience, I need you to put either M or F, whether you're male or female. And then press 1 if you think I was right, and 2 if you think Lady Monkey was right in that situation. So I need to know male or female, and whether you think I was right or she's right. 1 for me, 2 for her.
And so the thing was, I missed a $2. Oh, I did. Oh, thank you, Cryptic. No, I did that one. Which one did I miss?
I think he thought you missed that one.
No, well, yeah, the Cantonese word from Cryptic. Yeah, I got that one.
That was the last one I saw. Let's see. Yeah. You men are lying bastards. All these men doing too. You guys are sucking up to my wife. You understand that, right?
Well, she is the chat mom. I mean, she does have a wrench, you know.
Lying bastards. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Yeah, so this was the other immigration story today that I'm of two minds on, but I'll read it and you might see where I'm coming from. Police answered immigrants' call for help, then gave him to ICE. Wilson Rodriguez Macareno, I think I'm saying that right.
Hey, Macareno.
I was about to say, yeah, Macareno. And his family heard an intruder, so he called police for help. About an hour later, he was in the custody of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Rodriguez's detention Thursday sent shockwaves through the Seattle suburb of Tukwila? I don't know. And is now garnering national attention from immigration advocates, warning that the way authorities handled the case could make immigrants scared to call police to report crimes. So early Thursday morning, Rodriguez saw someone trespassing on his property in Tukwila. In the last few weeks, someone has been repeatedly trying to break into his home and car, so he called 911. Officers then put Rodriguez in handcuffs after he gave them his ID for what he thought was report purposes. Officers saw he had an outstanding warrant when they ran his information through the National Crime Information Center database. Oh, well, that changes a little bit. Less than an hour after making the trespassing call, Rodriguez faced an uncertain future as he was driven to an ICE field office in Seattle for processing. Oh, hold on. If he hadn't been an immigrant, or trespasser, as it might be more technically true. Thank you, Kingsley Abrokwa. Nigga, logically, you are right, but you know damn well the proper thing to do is buy the gifts. Think like the woman.
I was like 20 at the time. Cut me some slack there.
Yeah, so if this guy had been just a regular old plain citizen and he had an active warrant out for him, he would have been arrested anyway. It's just that in this case, it also alerted them that he wasn't here legally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So maybe my two minds aren't so much two as they were when I first read the synopsis of this. Let's see. Police told the Seattle Times they did not have probable cause to arrest the trespasser. The person that was actually there. Okay. Let's see. Quote, as with every incident, we established the identity of those involved, the department said in a Facebook post explaining why it ran Rodriguez's information through the database. Sorry?
So they didn't even arrest the dude who was trespassing?
That sentence is put there so oddly. I don't even understand what it's referring to. Because they said, okay, less than an hour after making the trespassing call, Rodriguez faced an uncertain future as he went to, okay. They did not have probable cause to, so they, yeah, whoever wrote this really screwed it up because they didn't tell us that they actually found the trespasser. They focused completely on the guy. Okay, anyway, let's see. In a separate post, the department said officers believe that they were executing a valid order from a judge in the form of a criminal warrant. In reality, officers executed an administrative ICE warrant. Okay, so the local police mistakenly were arresting the guy on a federal warrant. Okay. Tukwila police said on Facebook that ICE told the department it's been entering administrative warrants into the database the same as criminal warrants, and that, quote, we may be encountering more of these types of warrants in the future. I'm still not quite seeing the problem here. A warrant is a warrant.
Yeah. Hang on just a second. I have to clear something up with the missus over here.
Oh, uh-oh. Is this a Rob Porter type clearing things up?
Yeah, it is. I'm putting my hand down.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, like hell. I'm weak. She kicked the shit out of me. One sec.
Okay. I can only wonder what's going on in the background, guys. Let's pretend. Let's see. Maybe it's a jurisdiction. Well, I'm going to read the rest of the articles. I'm kind of confused as to what the... I mean, I don't think the police violated the law by doing that. I don't think. So I'm not quite sure what the argument is. I mean,
I just got in trouble.
Trouble?
Trying to help her out.
You put in a timeout?
Yes.
Oh. Okay, so when people think of a warrant, they think a judge has signed off on it. An independent fact finder has said whatever the police officer or law enforcement said appears to meet a threshold. Okay. That's the thing with these ICE warrants. They're not approved by an immigration judge. They're not approved by a federal judge. Nobody independently reviews them. Okay, but was he not here illegally? CNN reached out.
Real quick, let's back that up. There's a reason for that. And that's because you are not protected under the 4th fucking Amendment if you're here illegally.
I'm kind of scanning through this. In the past, ICE officials have said coordinating immigration arrests with local law enforcement allows authorities to avoid, quote, risks to public safety and officer safety. ICE warrants for civil immigration violations issued by U.S. immigration officers are administrative and not reviewed by any appendant authority that examines the case or the facts. Quote, in the criminal justice system, it would never fly, Barone said. Except
it's not a fucking this is what people not people, some people in the immigration debate don't understand. If you are here illegally, you are not protected by the U.S. Constitution. That is for citizens of this country, you dumb motherfuckers.
Now you still have some due process, even if you're here illegally. That is true, but the rules do not apply to you the same way as a citizen.
No, there's no reason.
Monkey in trouble. Yeah, monkey trouble.
There's not. You don't have to go get a a warrant, which is required under Fourth Amendment reasons, to arrest somebody is a fucking illegal.
Okay, so the person speaking, I skipped a little bit of the article because it was all, but the person making the comments here is someone named Jorge Barone, executive director of the Northwest Immigrant Rights Project. And Barone said, even though the Tukwila police officers were mistaken, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. What they didn't violate the law. They might have done so. Hold on. Quote, I think that there is an obligation on local law enforcement to be paying attention to these issues. Local law enforcement needs to educate themselves. Tukwila police said on Facebook that they have instituted a new directive to prevent such an incident from happening again.
I see what this is the you don't okay. I see what they're getting at here.
Sanctuary city kind of thing.
Kind of, yes. Local law enforcement is under no obligation to execute an ICE warrant.
That's true.
So I think that is what they're talking about here.
I mean, it's up to every jurisdiction because the city can't. I know there are police departments in, like, I think Texas or Alabama or something that they can totally question somebody on their immigration status and or arrest them for such violations. So, yeah, the states have the option, or the local jurisdictions have the option to participate. And apparently, made a mistake because they weren't supposed to.
Well, it's not the same as sanctuary cities. I just want to make that distinction, because in a sanctuary city, when ICE asks you to hold somebody, you're absolutely supposed to do that. The difference here is executing the warrant. my local police department does not have to execute an ICE warrant. It's a federal jurisdiction, and the feds are required to do that themselves if they want it done. However, they can do it.
Yeah.
They absolutely can.
Yeah, they can refer you over to the federal authorities or take you to them, which is what happened.
Yep. So no problem here. People are just whiny.
But Barone's main concern isn't the blurred lines between the criminal and administrative warrants. He said he believes what happened will strike fear into immigrant communities so they won't call police when they need help or when they have information about possible crimes. Quote, it's not just going to hurt immigrant communities, he said, it's going to hurt all of us. Okay, well, now that's as a broader Priestess of Keck says Tukwila?
This is where you mispronounced something earlier, where this dude is at.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that. It looks, I don't know. Okay, so this
is gringo.
Yeah, no kidding. So yeah, this has been brought up in several videos that I've done and everything else. Now, Monkey, what do you think? Because it's not an illegitimate concern to say if someone is being murdered or assaulted or something, but the victim happens to be here illegally, discouraging someone from calling the police because they could be deported in the commission, after the commission of a crime or because of a suspicious crime or something else. Is that a legitimate concern regarding this kind of thing?
It's a concern. Is it a legitimate concern? I'm going to say no, because if you're here illegally and you're going to let somebody rob you because of that, well, that's on you as much as you being here illegally is on you.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine too many people are going to, like say, be the victim of horrific assault and just take it. I get, they might not call the police after the fact, but if they had a chance to do it in the middle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And frankly, if that's your concern, go home where you can call the police and not have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Because I get the argument. I do. But that's the same as like, well, what about them being able to drive and have insurance? Well, yeah, they can't have insurance without a valid driver's license. Maybe they should go home where they can get a valid fucking driver's license. So I do understand the argument being made. I think it's kind of irrelevant to the argument of they shouldn't be here in the first fucking place.
Yeah. I try to think of the same scenario. Like I said before, if Joe Average Citizen, who happened to be wanted for a crime, called the police on a trespasser thing, they found out that he was wanted for a crime, they don't just overlook that because he happened to be reporting a crime.
Yeah, I mean, we don't do that with anyone else. Well, we can't have bench warrants because that person might not call the police if they need help. Well,
let's see. Cryptic, thank you. Passed the federal law that if you shelter illegals and obstruct federal immigration law, you get thrown in jail. This includes state politicians. Well, it's a fine line, but there is a difference between not assisting the federal government and actively hindering them. This is sort of the states' rights versus federal rights stuff. And even though this is a very sort of specific thing, it does run into that. Now, I can't say that I have a problem with a local jurisdiction choosing not to assist the federal government in something that is a federal jurisdiction issue. Okay, because that concept goes a lot broader than just immigration. I do obviously have a problem with if you have a local jurisdiction or politicians who actively attempt to waylay or obstruct the federal authorities from doing what they want to do. Like I did a video in my Expatriate Games series where I think it was the city of Santa Cruz in California, where ICE came and the police felt that they had been lied to when ICE said they weren't going to do any sort of sweeps, and then they ended up doing some sweeps. But of course, the police don't have any, even if they were deceived, like what are the police going to do? Like they didn't have the authority to do what they did. So they weren't going to do that anymore. But then I thought, like, well, what would have happened if they had told you what they were going to do? What would your response have been at that point? You weren't going to assist them, okay, but then what? That's all you could have done. You can't stop them unless you were planning on like alerting people to the fact that ICE was coming to try to get them to run. So
was this the one we talked about on stream?
We may have. It's been it was one of my earliest videos on that series.
Yeah, I believe this is, and in that one, it was retarded how they were talking about this, because yeah, the only thing you could take from that was, yeah, they were going to go warn illegals that the cops were coming.
Yeah, I mean that was the only conclusion I come to. It's like, ICE came to town and they were going to do some X, Y, and Z, and then they did this, and we felt we were lied to. And like, okay, well, in what scenario would you have done something otherwise? I don't. And even if they weren't lying, I mean, if they found somebody who was there illegally, their immigrations and customs enforcement, what are they going to do? Like, just not do their jobs? If I think the example I used was something to the effect of, if police are called to a house because of a noise complaint, but in the course of checking out the noise complaint, they witness someone committing a crime, are they supposed to not do something about that crime because the original reporting was about a noise complaint? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Well,
thank you,
told
England.
You about that. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thank you, England DG. To vote in a federal election, you should have a passport, period. Frankly, you should be a landowner, in my opinion. Well, I'm a apartment dweller, so I couldn't pass the muster for that one.
I don't necessarily think landowner. I do think you should be a tax-paying citizen, and by that I mean actually paying into federal taxes. Yeah. Anyway, I told you, I think it was yesterday, about the guy who got deported, even though he's been a model citizen for the last 20 years or something. Right. Even his congressman has got in. Right. His congressman is trying to get him an exemption. I think we talked about it before the stream, or maybe it was when we were off camera for slightly when everything went down. Anyway, yeah. There's a special exemption that you can get through Congress. It's like a one-time amnesty for one person. But it's something you just said. I may do a video on this guy, because illegal immigration is the only time where we worry that, criminals might have a difficult life if they try living like normal people. If this guy had killed somebody 20 years ago and they just found out about it, even though he's been a great person in his community for the last 20 years, nobody would say, oh, well, don't put him in jail. He's been a good guy for the last 20 years. Mm-hmm. We don't give exemptions because you've been good since you were bad.
Right. Thank you, Sweeper Steven. Chatelet, everyone, just stopping in to show some love, and I'll make it easy on you tonight, Scribe, so you guys get to pick the ad. Okay, another dealer's choice. Thank you, Sweeper. And again, guys, just to remind, I am starting jury duty tomorrow. My ad writing time will be curtailed. My research will be pretty much zapped. So ads may trickle in over the next couple of streams rather than being all in one block, depending on how things go. So I'll do my best, but this week's going to be a bit different than usual. And thank you, England DG. I am okay with net taxpayer, not landowner. Issue is which taxes. Illegals pay most local taxes. I say landowner because if you own land, you're financially and literally rooted in the community.
I don't, because I've heard the argument, illegals pay taxes and stuff like that. There's the idea of your state and local taxes, which they still can't pay because you have to have a federal tax or a state tax ID, which is tied to your federal tax ID. And then there's the idea of sales tax. I don't consider sales tax to be a tax in the same way. But if you wanted to split it that way, I would say, okay, you can vote state, you can't vote federal. I think you should have a stake in the government you're voting on, a financial stake in the government you're voting on. Can I pick the ad for that one?
Well, just hold on a second. Oh, you want to do that one? Okay. So, guys, it's chat time. It's your time. We do have a chat choice ad on the docket from Jonathan Malone. So, I mean, ultimately, it's going to be, my or our choice as to which chat suggestion becomes the ad. But if you have suggestions for an ad, and preferably something I can do without needing access to research materials, then by all means, post them here, and we'll keep an eye on it. For clarity's sake, put in capital letters before you put your suggestion, chat suggestion, so we know which is which. And thank you, England GGG. Illegals pay sales tax. Illegals pay property tax through rent. These fund most state operations. Hence why I said passport for
no.
federal.
They don't pay property tax through rent. That is still on the landowner to pay the property tax.
Yeah.
So I see what you're going for there, but just for clarity's sake, they actually don't. And yes, that is splitting hairs, but it's an important hair to split because they're not the one that owns that land.
Okay, so you had an idea for the dealer's
I do.
choice.
And this one might get you out of jury duty if the judge sees it.
Yeah.
I want an ad for mint flavored ball freshener.
Okay.
And yes, I mean testicles.
Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, you don't have to explain that like I had to have Pap explain to me. Okay, Jack Gunsky says, chat suggestion, do Lords of the Night as 12 Angry Men. Aha. Hey, Dark Alile, chat suggestion, an ad for the famous restaurant Eat at Joe's. Oh, yeah. That's always a standby. England, thank you. And do you think the landowner pays it on charity?
No, but I think the landowner would have to pay it whether or not somebody was living there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether or not that illegal's there, he still has to pay that.
Let's see. I don't want to miss too many of these because I know they're going to go by. Okay. Ellie Brooks' chat suggestion, ad idea, Rise of Gender Studies and Revenge of the Hard Sciences, Tales from Academia. Okay. Alice Morgan, Olympic Curling Murder Mystery.
Ooh,
that one, I kind of like that one. Okay, I'll keep that one in mind. Viror of Ashmedai, which I know I've already screwed up your name. Chat suggestion, hydroelectric magnetosphere regulator. Technically, it's a thingy. Okay.
An ad for a thingy.
Ad for a thingy. Chat suggestion from N stream chat fan fiction. Oh, Jesus. Ace Phoenix says, Bill and Ted movie with Scribe and Monkey as Bill and Ted and SDA as Rufus.
Oh, that's actually a good one, too.
That's good. Let's see.
Dude.
Chat suggestion from James Colley. Lady Monkey sponsored fake testicles for women. Ugh. And then
for the record, again. Lady Monkey does not have fake testicles. Hers are real.
Jesse DeFenic Fox. Lords of the Night as anime stereotypes. Okay. Backscan. PSA, monkey reading disorder with symptoms including saying shit when you read, falling down the stairs, and confusing cereal with soup.
There's no confusion there.
Yeah. Savannah says, add Scribe versus jury duty. Well, I've got escape from jury duty coming up, so I got that one covered. Priestess of Keck says, Scribelight, if you want out of jury duty, tell the judge during Vordire that you voted for Cthulhu last election. Why vote for the lesser evil? Yeah. I'm curious of what'll happen if I get into Vordire. They ask me something. I hope I get sent away. I don't want to do this. I don't want to.
Hope it gets sent away. Scribe wants to go to prison, y'all.
Yeah, send me away. Sanguine says, you sitting as a juror on a case involving a random super chatter from tonight. Okay. Ooh. Chat suggestion from Devil Fruit Zero. Florida man on trial for crimes against humanity.
Guys, how great would it be? And there's a super chat there real quick. Yeah, but how great would it be if Scribe ended up on a jury of an ad executive?
Thank you, England DG. So when you have, as you do in my city, a Colombian who buys a whole bunch of land and sets up a city of 20,000 some odd trailers, or 20K some odd trailers, and rents them out, do you think he isn't using their income to pay property tax? He'd be paying it even if they weren't there.
Yeah.
If he buys the property, he has to pay property tax regardless. So the money's fungible. He's still paying it out of his own wealth, even if there's no one there renting the land.
Yeah, I'm not saying that their money doesn't end up being used towards that. But at that point, it's his money that's paying the property tax.
Yeah, he is paying it, not them.
They go down and file property taxes every year. He does that.
Okay. Let's see. Magnificent Bastard. Chat suggested Lords of the Night has talent where you three are the judges and chat is the contestants. Oh, that'd be a short show.
Oh, we should do that some night.
We really should. Yeah. We should find a way to do that. Like have people on and like, okay, sing for us real quick or something.
Yes, exactly.
Jack Cochran.
Or
Murder on the Orient Express, but with SJWs as the suspects. Oh boy. Tack Alpaca, Olympics where California is its own country.
Real quick, has anybody seen the new Murder on the Orient Express? Because I really want to see it, but not if it's shit, because I do love Agatha Christie.
I haven't. I've seen the preview, and I like the cast, but I haven't seen it now.
I don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah, well, Kenneth Branagh's Hercule Poirot is an interesting choice. I wouldn't have imagined him because really David Suchet will always be Poirot in my book. He just doesn't. No one else does. I actually had a book on tape of him reading Agatha Christie stories as Poirot. Is great. It was 4 and 20 Blackbirds. It was wonderful. England DG. Okay, I see that point. Good one. Cool. I hope I didn't miss any. Miss Lim 1. Coke with actual cocaine given for free to drug addicts.
In an Afrin spray.
Captain Brambles. SDA deported back to her home state of Connecticut.
Oh, and says it was quite good. Talking about Orient Express. Cool.
Okay.
I really want to see it. I really do.
Puppy Hater says how the Kumite cures insomnia. Let's see. Nice. What did I miss? Jesse the Fennec Fox, Lords of the Night as Grimm's fairy tale characters. Okay. Chat suggesting a courtroom drama about you versus an ad exec that steals your ads.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Judge Death, Scribe bondage court based on Night Court. Let's see. I'm probably missing some. Ellie Burke, chat suggesting daycare for SJWs ran by Lords of the Night with Lady Monkey running the show.
Can't give her that much power, y'all.
Dark Alile, goat frapple. That is all. Yeah, well, it's goat thrapple, TH thrapple. And actually, I came up with the goat thrappelchino, like a Scottish coffee drink. Tail thought that was funny. Let's see. Jack Hockett says Sophane in an action film against Andy Raceworski. Oh boy.
Oh.
Okay. I'm still partial to the curling murder mystery.
That was a good one. That was.
I'm kind of partial to that. I'll keep that's what I'm leaning on right now. BG says chat suggestion personal responsibility. That sounds like something Point would ask me to do. Do an ad for personal responsibility. Jesse the Fennec Fox, chat suggestion Lords of the Night as a role-playing game. Oh God. Yeah, roll your D20, find out which strange individual off the Lords of the Night roster you'll become. If you roll a 1, you'll be Weibo. What?
SDA, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, you're just quiet tonight, and I'm making sure.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
Let's see. Chaos Eve, got to bounce, guys. See y'all tomorrow. Bye, Chaos.
Hey, Chaos.
Mr. Baker says Kenneth B's mustache is immaculate in Murder on the Orient Express. Well, it has to be because that's like Poirot's like signature. Yeah. Aside from his accent and that he's Belgian. Oh, of course, he's supposed to be like balding, kind of an egg-headed kind of guy. That's why Suchet was so perfect for it. Sarah Plyer says missing likes and shares. Oh, well, there's that too. Hey guys, we got 158 people and 80 likes. What? If you like what we're doing, please hit that like button. We appreciate it.
How many times do I have to tell you people I have a very fragile ego before you believe me?
Ellie Burke says, if you go with curling murder mystery, please somehow factor in North Korea. Oh, God.
Excuse me. You know, that's one thing. Thank you. One thing we haven't talked about was the whole thing with Kim. What the fuck is her name? Kim.
His sister.
Kim Jo Smile, whatever the fuck her name is. And Mike Pence, and how CNN has fallen all over themselves over her. Not just CNN, the New York Times did it. Several media outlets. You know, the Koreans are like the nicest people ever now, North Koreans, because this chick smiled at the Olympics. Yeah, we mentioned it briefly in one of the stories the other night when we were talking about the Olympics, but yeah, we didn't. I don't think at that time, at least, everyone was fawning over her like somehow. Exactly. Her showing up as some like now North Korea's got good PR. Yes. While they're still like starving their citizens and murdering them and holding them in captivity essentially, and mentally brainwashing them. Yeah. Oh yeah. She's a real sign of hope in the world by being at the Olympics. Whatever. And I read one story that about her that says she's like almost worse than him. That she's like his like #1 fan, which isn't bad. I mean, it's his sister, so okay, I can see that. But that she's just as fucking crazy as he is. Devil's Fruit Zero says they aren't going to nuke us because of a smile. Yeah, apparently. You notice Kim didn't make the trip.
Thank you, England DG. If you are selected for grand jury, you should do it. I've done it twice. If you are petite jury, just say that you voted for Trump. Yes. Well, I don't know if that would actually get me out of court, but we'll see. Yeah, the grand jury, I've heard weird things about.
Tell him you wrote in David Duke.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with Olympic curling murder mystery. That one really just resonates with me, and I'm a big curling fan, so I could probably come up with some good titles for that one. So thank you guys for your suggestions.
I need to update mine.
Okay. Mint flavored ball freshener is now what?
No, it's still the same, but because it's mint flavored.
Yes.
But it needs to be like it needs a different smell. Oh, I want it to be Old Spice scented.
Old Spice scented mint flavored ball freshener.
Yes.
Old Spice scented. Since I don't have a working printer right now, I'm going to have to jot all these down onto a piece of paper before I go off to jury duty tomorrow. It'll be all sorts of fun. So I might do them in batches. Take a couple of each day kind of thing. Yeah.
You got a lot on your plate this week, so.
Oh man, yeah. It's just getting there and getting back and everything. And I'm going to do my best, guys, to be here on time for the streams. I don't know how late they're going to have me or because I don't drive, so if it comes down to crunch time, I might taxi it home rather than try to take a bus or something. Cryptic, thank you. Americans who love communists never starved under it like I did. Yeah. There's the fantasy version of the communist utopia, and then there's actually living it. And everyone that I've ever met or heard from who actually lived it knows that it's not something you want to have happen.
You don't hear people who escaped communism talk about how great it was.
England DG, thank you. A grand jury is basically local oversight. You get to see the felony cases. You also get access to pretty much anything you want in the local government. Yeah, I read an actual, like, one of those legal mysteries. It wasn't a John Grisham thing. It was but similar to a long time ago, that the grand jury and the whole process was key to the plot. And apparently the author had been invited into like a federal grand jury, which I guess is not something that everybody has happened to them. And nobody knows what goes on behind the scenes there because it's all like you can't record it or anything else. And so he got a firsthand look at it all and used those details in the book, because that was kind of interesting.
If you do end up on a jury, I have a suggestion.
Okay.
In the middle of the case, it doesn't matter when.
Okay.
Just stand up and scream, "Tongue buttering the turtle cave."
Yes.
Just so that it becomes part of the public record.
Oh God. Yeah. Wouldn't that be great?
It would. They would have to type that into the little gay machine they use.
Yeah. And I'd probably
that would become part of America.
I'd probably get a contempt of court citation on that one too.
We can super chat that shit away. You'll be fine.
This is the jail time and my permanent record kind of thing that I'm probably more concerned about. It is possible. Okay.
You'd be famous, at least here.
It is possible, because the last time I did this, I ended up just sitting in a room for 2 days and never caught a case. I'm keep my fingers crossed that is the situation this time. Although, the fate being what it has been for me lately, probably not. But if I do catch a case, I hope it's a short one and not some like 6-week long thing or some kind of sequestered murder trial or something.
He wants the clap, not herpes.
Yes, that's the analogy I was aiming for.
Are you talking about catching a case?
Yes, catching a case.
What's going through my mind right now?
Okay. One night in Bangkok makes the heart man humble.
Sorry, guys. I'm entertaining myself.
Jenna P says, then ask, did you type it in the gay little thing? That must be referring to something else, because I don't know what it is. I must be talking to somebody in chat.
No, that was to us because I said they'd have to type it into the gay little thing. So stand up, yell, tongue butter the turtle cave, and then go, did you type it into the gay little thing?
The gay little thing. Oh, geez. In the court reporters thing? Yeah, okay. I forget what that's called. There's a technical term for that.
Ellie Burke asks, what's the difference between herpes and the clap? Length.
Well, duration. Herpes is permanent. The clap can be cured. Jordan says, what are your thoughts on the new Batman Ninja movie? Well, I watched the preview today, or the trailer.
Batman Ninja movie.
So it's a animated film. It's Batman in like feudal Japan, where they call it Batman Ninja, but it's more like Batman Samurai. But anyway, where the Joker has apparently gone back in time and become like this giant feudal king, whatever. And so Batman has to have himself and like feudal Japan versions of his allies try to fight Joker and his horde of evil Joker masked samurai and stuff. The animation looks really cool. The character design looks really cool. I don't know if it's going to be all that great. I definitely watch it in the non-dubbed over version, though, because most animes I watch in the original language. Let's see. Thank you, England. Grand jury proceedings are not recorded. Don't spread ignorance. But yes, that phrase should be entered into the record.
I wasn't talking about grand jury. I meant if you caught like a Matlock case.
Matlock. Stenographer machine. Thank you, Data Wastelander. Steno machine.
BG asked the stupidest thing I've ever done. I broke up with Lady Monkey once when we were in high school.
Oh, yeah.
It lasted for about 2 hours and still remains the dumbest thing I've ever done.
Ace Phoenix, ad for a Bill and Ted movie with Scribe and Monkey as Bill and Ted and SDA as Rufus. And yes, the above amount does equate to over 10. Yes. Thank you, Ace. Okay, I'll put that on. And again, guys, I'll probably end up, if I can, be doing ads in like batches over the next several days. So I can't tell you for sure when your ad will end up on the air, but it will be at my YouTube time whenever it does. So if you need to skip around over the next couple of streams to find your ad.
No. You watch all that shit.
Oh yeah, you can watch that too, but you know.
Scribe keeps giving you guys options, like if you like our stuff and if you want to, if you want to skip around. No.
If you consider your ad being read by me the most important part of your day, by all means, just skip to my voice. No. Thank you, Sanguine. Just
you share us like herpes at a bathhouse, damn it.
Oh God! Just picture the judge, Mr. Light. What do you keep looking at? Let me see it. Old Spice scented mint flavored. You are excused. And Froggy Dawn, thank you. Chat suggestion: an army of bloodthirsty pigs led by an Amish boy to take over the world. Well, on the weight of other people's donations, Froggy, I will put that on the list. Okay, Froggy Dawn. Froggy Dawn.
Wait, how much did Lady Monkey donate earlier?
Something. 10.
Was it a 10?
Yeah.
Do I get another ad?
Well,
I'm just fucking with you.
Per her, no. But if you do, by all means.
I'm just fucking with you. I got my ball one in. I'm good.
Let's see. 7 in the morning, guys.
That you'll blame me for your twisted mind for.
Yeah, probably. Oh God. Yeah. Well, after Neapolitaint.
Neapolitaint is awesome.
What was the other one? Oh yeah, yeast confections.
Although
the cake flavored douche.
Although I still say the I forget who pointed it out, but the eulogy for Pebbles is my favorite thing you've ever done. That was
I wish
awesome.
I wish I could have kept a straight face at that one point, but
that was fucking. I need to cut that out and do an ad for the show with it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, even that one part I couldn't keep it in. Let's see.
That's my Scribe.
Jordan Tivity says, anyone hear the "Do You Know DeWay" song? It got stuck in my head. I'm not surprised one was created, but I don't know it. Let's see. We can't see.
Now I have One Night in Bangkok stuck in my head. You dick.
You wanted one out. I gave you another one.
Yeah. The only problem is the only thing I know about is that line.
Well, you just have to listen to the song again, you know.
I know. I'll have to. The last time I did that, I listened to it like for 3 hours straight, and I still didn't learn it.
Joy Zasara says, Lady Monkey, how much to put a lit cigarette on Ranting Monkey's nipples?
Jesus fuck, dude.
Dude, are you from North Korea? What the hell?
Christ. Do you need information? I will give it to you. You don't have to torture me.
Oh, Paige says, my message got buried in super chats, but my dad is doing much better now, just staying in the hospital a few more days. Ranting Monkey and Scribe. Well, yeah, I'm glad to hear that, Paige.
I'm glad he's doing better.
Devil Fruit Zero, how did the leper hockey game end? There was a face-off in the corner.
Okay, that is cheesy as fuck, but that was great.
Yeah, I like that one. Chris Jones says, SDA, stop oppressing me. Yeah, SDA, stop being North Korea to Chris Jones.
I will do my best.
See, 5-minute warning, guys. Genevieve says, you said you couldn't keep a straight face. We can't see your face, Scribe. Well, you heard me laugh. I broke the character, so to speak, of reading the eulogy because I got to the point where Pebbles tells her to flush me. Flush me. You're strong enough without me now. Flush me. Yeah.
You know, we talked about the Third Rock from the Sun episode with the eulogy on it the other day.
Yeah, and that's kind of what sort of inspired a little bit of the Pebbles was the star that banished the darkness kind of thing. That's kind of
yes.
Yeah.
The best part of that is, if you guys haven't seen the episode, Dick has to give an honest eulogy for a guy who is a super dick.
Yeah.
And everybody who talks about this guy, you can't do an honest eulogy because it would be horrible. You can't talk that way about the dead. So what Dick does is he gives this very spiritual sounding thing about how the guy turned just into pure light.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a hush that falls over this whole crowd of people who hated this man. And they're all like, wow. And then the other aliens like, what'd you do, man? Just phone that shit in? Oh, it was great. Anyway, what consequences? Sorry.
Okay.
They're arguing in chat.
Oh, okay.
Stupidest thing you've said to Lady Monkey.
I do.
God, Jesus. No, that's the stupidest thing she said to me. Oh God. Yeah. I need to break up with you.
Yeah.
Mr. Baker says, "What do you think of cognitive thought?" I like Cog. He's how do I don't always agree with Cog, but you know where you stand with Cog. He's very straightforward and will tell you exactly what he thinks. I like people I can disagree with and still talk to.
Mm-hmm. SDA, are you okay? People are concerned.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Well, we're just about at that time, looks like.
Real quick, Ellie Burke asked what my favorite book is to read to little butt. Hand, Fingers, Thumb. I love that one, and it has monkeys, and she loves the monkeys in it.
SDA, do you have a book club coming up?
Not scheduled right now.
Okay.
England, sorry, read your super chat.
Okay. My question from last week's podcast, 9/11 voters.
Tune in tomorrow, and I will discuss that. I will leave myself a note.
Okay. Oh, you actually leave yourself a note?
Yeah. We don't have... Well, I want to leave myself a note to make sure we talk about it early enough, because that's one of those topics I can't answer in like just a minute here, which is all we really have left.
All right. Okay, guys, chat, thank you so much for joining us tonight. As per usual, you guys are the best audience on YouTube, period.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what anyone else says about you, especially SoFame. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, as always, the unsung heroes of the Lords of the Night show. Monkey, SCA, thank you for joining me, as always. Guys, again, ads will be coming in as I can get them done. I'll do my best. And yeah, I do take them seriously. I do appreciate the donations immensely. But yeah, and I probably won't be able to tell you anything about what goes on with my jury duty experience unless nothing happens. So you'll just know that I'm doing it. And then after it's all over and done with, I might give some details. But either way. And guys, we'll see you tomorrow night. And also, jury duty makes me sad. Good night, guys.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Bye.